Aloha and welcome to the opening session of the Women Unleashed online retreat. My name is Amber Queeley Milani Benici. I am your retreat host and one of your guides for this experience. I just want to send you first a heartfelt, deep welcome. You made it. You're here. I know that just getting here can be half the battle. So I just want to take a moment just to say, yay, you did it, you're here. Now, if you haven't watched the opening session, the journal making session, go ahead and go back and do that so that you have a space to record your stuff, to a container for you to put all your drawings, your notes, your ahas, your visionings for 2018 in one spot. And if you haven't had a chance to do that and just want to dive in, that's good too. So today's session, we're going to just talk a little bit about the retreat, about how to best use the retreat for you, because everyone's different. We're going to do a intention setting so you can just really anchor in the energy for the rest of this time together. Yeah, this is a really potent time right now, right? We're at the solstice time, which is kind of like a gateway for the earth, yeah, and for energy. And so you have a chance right now to align with whatever that energy is. And so maybe for you, you need to retreat, you need to nurture yourself, you need to just slow down, you need to pause, and you need a vision before 2018 comes. Or maybe you're ready to take action, you've got stuff going, you want to keep that energy moving, and you want to take you kind of swing more in the area of visioning instead of actually action taking. And so you want to start taking some action. Everyone's going to have a different intention. And that's part of what I wanted to share with you right now, is that wherever you're at, whatever you want, it's important for you to know what that is for you. It's easy to look around and compare ourselves to other people and think that we should be doing what other people are doing. But I just want to give you, from the very, very beginning of this retreat, a giant permission slip to make this retreat yours. So that might mean that you only watch 2 sessions of this retreat and that you really drink in what you need to receive during those 2 sessions. Or maybe it's that you really take time, sacred time, for yourself, and you put a note up on your door and kids and family aren't coming in, and you have your daily retreat time. So let's go ahead, dive in and find out what that is for you and how this retreat can help best serve you. Yeah. So if you don't know anything about me, my name is Amber Queeley Milani Benici. I am an intuitive creativity coach and a creative business mentor. I've led retreats and workshops for years, for Women Unleashed Retreat now, for tens and tens and tens and tens of thousands of women all around the world. And what I know for sure is that a retreat has the opportunity to create massive impact. This is really different than an interview series or conversations, right? I want you to think about anytime that you've gone to a workshop or retreat, it's like you're entering into this other space. You're entering into a portal. You're creating an experience that that can just impact and ripple on to lots and lots of other areas of your life. I can count, I can really think of retreats that I've been to that really changed the trajectory of my life. And from all the messages, from the posts, from the love notes I've gotten from you over the years, I know that this retreat does the same thing. So let's go ahead and just open to the possibility, right? So why not just open to the possibility that this retreat could make a major impact for you, could totally shift the direction you're going, that in a way that opens you up, that releases you, that inspires you into your next space. So let's go ahead and dive on in. So for today's session, just make sure you have your Women Unleashed journal if you have that, some coloring goodies, and we're going to do a little bit of art making after we've done some visioning, and dive in. Now, this retreat, this is because this is solstice time and this is a potent time of the year. This is also a time that I use as realignment days. Okay. In my personal practice, I have realignment days that I have spread throughout the year. I have solstice times, we have equinoxes, my birthday. You might notice your birthday is kind of like a realignment time. If you just kind of take a moment, you're like, am I doing what I want to be doing with my life? Like, I tend to have that conversation come up for me whenever I have my birthday. It's like, am I doing what I want to be doing? And that's part of what we're doing during this time. It's like that pause before moving forward, right? It's so easy just to get into the doing of life, right? It's like you got your kids, you maybe your parents, your friends, work. It's like do. You're in the doing of life instead of like the actually pulling back, taking a look and seeing what do I want to create, right? So this is part of being, you're going to see this influence of creativity throughout the retreat. That's part of my work, is thinking about not just what is happening to you, but how can you step into a place where you are creating the life you desire. So we have all sorts of different retreat workshops, right? We have, and experiences. We have everything from movement to connect you to your body, creativity. We have people discussing things about self-care. We do shamanic journeying. We're doing energy releases, monetizing your passions, how to build a better relationship or to find your person, health, wellness. There's so many different areas that we're covering in order for you to listen and to realign, to listen to what the guides are saying, and for you to tune inwards to say, what do I want to shift in this area? What do I choose to shift? How do I want to create and unleash myself in a different way, right? The retreat's called Woman Unleashed. I know some of you meant sink in here too, but really the retreat's called Woman Unleashed. And it's, when I first really thought about the impact that I wanted to make, I thought of my own journey. And my journey, like, I didn't start off like, ta-da, like, oops, hi camera. I didn't start off, ta-da, like totally knowing what I wanted to do with my life. I actually, I had been in corporate America. I was working really hard, doing the thing. I was making great money, and then I became a stay-at-home mom, and I swung totally into like really giving my everything to my kids, which was beautiful and magical. And I lost myself there. I lost myself in being a mom, the perfect mom. And what I had to do was this unleashing process, right? Unleashing myself from expectations, from obligations, from what I thought I should be doing with my life, from what other people told me I should be doing, and really stepping into what I wanted. And so that's my intention. That's my hope for you, is during this retreat that you get really clear on what you want, and that we set your personal intentions, that you get, like at the end of this retreat, you get what you came for. You get what you came for, right? I know you have tons of email. I know you have tons of obligations. I know this is the holiday time and you might be really busy with your family, or you might not be, and this might be the perfect time for you. And so I just want to encourage you to take in whatever you need to take in. And if you're not able to do it all, I'm not handing out gold stars for everyone that's doing everything perfect, okay? This is really about you accessing, getting what you need. So let's first touch in with your intention. Now, intention is, this word that you see kind of thrown around, but intention for me is an anchor. It's a touchstone for what you're doing, yeah? A story that I like to tell is, I really learned the power of intention when my mom, Viv, came to visit me, and we had a weekend alone, and we were going to clean the house. My dad and my husband were off, so it was my mom, myself, and my kids. We're going to clean the house. We were going to just kind of make things easier, and long story short, my mom, she asked me, she's like, well, what do we want from our weekend together? And we just took a moment where we just paused and we really decided what we wanted to create together, right? This is this piece of knowing what you want. And I said, I really want to feel more connected. I wanted to have a deep connection with Mom. I wanted to She said she wanted to do some art making. I'm like, great, let's do some art making together. We wanted the house clean, but we didn't actually necessarily want to do it. So like, let's hire someone. So we hired the local neighborhood girl, and she came over. She watched the kids for us so that we could do some art making and connecting. Funny thing is that we were also invited to a party, which was going to be lots of fun. And we almost said yes, but then we're like, wait a minute, actually, that doesn't align with our intention. That doesn't align with what we're really wanting. So part of intention setting is for you to know where you want to go, but intention setting is also going to help keep you from making decisions that pull you out of alignment, that pull you away from what you want. So think about it's like an anchor point. Those decisions you're not going to be drifting somewhere else. You're not going to be drifting somewhere else, yeah? So let's set your intention. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to go vision. We're going to go on a journey a bit, yeah? So before we go on our vision, I want you to first write down in your journal, like what had you say yes to this? What, like when you think about like what you want, just from you, from your head, from all of that, what is it that you're wanting from this retreat? And just go ahead and write down. So I want So I wrote, I want space to listen. That's my personal intention for my retreat, my personal retreat. What's yours? Maybe it's stillness. Maybe it's quiet. Maybe you want to relax. Maybe you want to have some fun. Maybe you want to like really give yourself just quiet time before the new year. Maybe you've been giving to a lot of people. You just want to give to yourself. What is that desire? What is that thing that pulled you here in the first place? Go ahead and write down what you want from this retreat. Here's my ear. I drew an ear. Space to listen. Once you know me, if you're just getting to know me, I randomly bust out in song, just so you know. All right, so now I want you to find empty space in your journal. I have a lot of stuff on my journal I've been using. Okay. Empty space in your journal, and I want you to just get comfy, and we're going to go on a journey, okay? Part of intention setting is like looking at the wisdom, and this is part of what we're going to be talking about during the retreat, is that you have access to so much more information than what you're using right now. Most of the time, you're running on just whatever's coming at you, and you're just kind of like rolling with it, yeah? Making decisions based on what you think you want. But there's so much more wisdom inside your body. Tuning into spirit, tuning into what's bigger than you, and that's what we're going to do right now, is to tune in to listen inside to what you're really needing right now, okay? So go ahead and make yourself comfortable. If you're sitting down, get comfy. I'm going to relax right here. Oh, any small stretches. And turn off any notifications. This is one that I'm just going to recommend for all sessions, is that to close down your Facebook, to close down your phone, turn off the volume, turn off the other tabs for your stuff so that you're ready to go. Yeah, you're here. So just breathe in and out, and let's get present here This is something you notice I'm going to do for every single session first. So first, just noticing any lingering energy that's been on your mind, any thoughts or ideas or things that are pulling you from this moment right here, right now. Inhale in, exhale and release. And next, noticing if there's anything to come, anything in the future that you're worried about or that's pulling you ahead of this moment, any expectations, thinking about what we're about to do, anything even pulling you ahead into 2018, let's come back right here, right now. Inhale in, exhale and release. And our third and final breath, smelling this moment together. Inhaling in, exhale and release. Now I want you just to take a few breaths in and out. I'm inviting you to follow your natural rhythm. And with each exhale, imagine letting go of any tension that you're carrying. Imagining with each exhale that you're sinking deeper and deeper into this moment, that you're opening up to receive what you're going to be getting. What's that message just for you? We're going to go on a little bit of a journey, and I'm just going to first say before we start the journey that everyone journeys differently. You might journey and see things. You might journey and hear things. You might just know things. There's no right or wrong way. So if you're not seeing anything, if things are not, meeting your expectations of what you think it should look like, know that that's your perfect journey. That's your journey. So go ahead and imagine that you're standing at the top of your head and there's a spiral staircase that weaves all the way down into your body. I'm inviting you to start walking down that staircase, leaving behind the distractions of your mind and walking step by step deeper and deeper inside into your personal wisdom. You're walking step by step down, down, down that spiral staircase. And you're going to pass the doorway of your heart and continue walking down, down, till you reach the center of your body. And there's a great doorway, and that's the doorway to your na'au. Now the na'au is a word in Hawaiian we use. It's like your energy center. In other languages and cultures, it's called the dantian, the hara, your womb space, your energetic center. And there's a doorway, and behind that doorway, just first take a look at your doorway and notice how your doorway feels and how it looks. What's the shape of it? Notice if it's made out of anything in particular, if there's any messages around the edge of that doorway. And from the edges of the doorway, you can see behind it a glowing white light, pulsing light. And you walk up to your doorway knowing that on the other side of this doorway, you're going to connect with a piece of yourself that is ready, that has a message for you. And so you walk up to your doorway and you place your hands on the door, and the door starts to open like it's been keyed, it's been coded for you. And it slides open, and on the other side is a blinding white light, and you walk through that light, and you notice now on the other side is a pathway. As your eyes start to adjust that light, you see a pathway leading through a great meadow. You start walking through that meadow, feeling pulled from the center of your being. And you listen to the sounds, you look around, you feel the breeze on your face, and you keep walking, feeling pulled forward. And you follow the pathway now up and over the edge of the meadow, and it starts to zigzag down the other side of the hill. So you walk along, following the path as you now descend down, down. And at the very bottom of this hill is a ravine with a creek running through it. And you notice there are stepping stones across the creek, so you step across the creek, going from stone to stone. You reach the other side and continue following the path now towards the forest. You walk into that forest and you're starting to hear now the birds. You're starting to notice the sun now with the shadows of the trees and the leaves. You might see any forest creatures coming by as you walk through that forest, still being pulled. You come now out of that forest to the other side, and there's a great hill before you, a mound. And so you start to walk, following that path towards the top of that hill. And you walk and walk. You take a pause every little bit. You just turn and you look at the view all around you where you've come. And when you're ready, when you've caught your breath, you turn back and you start walking again up that top of that hill. And when you reach the very top, you notice the hill is flat. It's flat, and in the very, very center of that hill is a small pond. And so you come up to the edge of the pond and you look over the edge of the pond and you see your reflection looking back at you. And as you're looking, you notice the reflection changes. And now there's a different reflection looking back at you. And you recognize, there's something within you that recognizes this person. She is your wise one, that one within you who knows. And leaning over the pond, you know now that you have the opportunity to ask her anything you wish. And so first you share with her where you're at, your hopes, your dreams. You share with her maybe even those heartbreaks. She knows that you've come here. So you can ask her first whatever questions you may have. And then you take a moment and you let her know that you're here this time for your retreat. Ask her, what are you needing during this retreat? What are you really needing? So she shares with you that deeper intention. And she knows that you need something to help keep you focused, to help you during the retreat, so that you stay open and receptive to what you're meant to receive. And so you notice now as her reflection shifts, and she slowly ripples and disappears, and now you see in the pool something that she's left just for you. And so you reach your hand in, you pick it up. And you know that this is something to help you remember. Some message to help you. And so, with the gift that she's given you, you put your hand on your heart and you share your gratitude, knowing that she can hear you, knowing she's here at any time. You rise, slowly turn, taking the gift with you, and slowly walking back down the hill, back through the forest, crossing the stream and zigzagging your way back up into the meadow, where you cross the meadow back to your doorway. You come to the door and you put your hand on that door, and it opens, and you take a deep inhale in, exhale and release. When you're ready, you can open your eyes with me. And I'm going to give you a moment right now just to write down some of her message for you, some of your vision. And I'm inviting you to sketch, to draw, to paint that gift that she gave you. So take your time. I'll pull my camera down so you can see what I'm doing as you're doing what you're doing too. Come on down. Many times I find when I journey, sometimes I understand the messages that come, sometimes I don't. That's okay. So I'm inviting you. Every time there are always women who maybe you don't get something. I'm inviting you to look at that. Not that you're doing anything wrong, but that there's a message there for you. There's no way you can do this wrong. You know, different times when I've gotten no message, my message has been that either I already knew the answer or I can't control things, right? So it's like listening and tuning in. So it's the diving in, which is what we just did. And that's listening. Many times when I start, when I'm doing creative practice like this and I'm coming from a vision, I might start like being inspired by the vision, and then stuff kind of goes off on its own. My creativity has a mind of her own. So it's okay if you, as you're creating, you get more messages. Think of it like the resonance is continuing, you know? I'm curious if your intention from your woman is different than your original one. Or what information she gave you, what gift she gave you. To support this retreat. I'm using a watercolor set here, small one. You can use crayons, markers. I showed you this before in the journal making session. But it's really fun to, once you've got your messages or whatever you're doing, to paint around, color around, make stuff stand out in a different way. So I'm going to invite you to, once you've done this practice, you can share in the Facebook group. You're going to notice there's a link below this video that has a link to the Facebook group. You can click on that. You can share your images. You can share your intention. You can share the message you got from your woman. And part of this sharing, you know, I know some of you're all not into Facebook group. Just so you know, there's always about 2/3 of the group that doesn't do Facebook, even though you think a lot of people do. There's a whole bunch of y'all that don't, and that's just fine. So part of my intention today is just for you to really feel like this is your retreat, that you can make it your own. You don't have to do it the way everybody else is doing it. You're never going to be behind. Here's mine. And it was really interesting because my intention before was about listening, remember? It was about space to listen. And when I really tuned in and listened, what she told me, my intention was actually about reconnection. So that's my personal intention. And my symbol was about drinking from the cup. That was my gift. And it was interesting when I was creating, I noticed like the center kind of started looking like an eyeball. I was like, oh my gosh, that's interesting. So I'm drinking from my cup. Moving forward with that. Coming back up. So share in the group what your intention is, right? And just remembering that whether you're doing one session, whether you do them all, whether you're creative, whether you consider yourself creative or not, or spiritual or not, or any of that, that this is really about you creating, you seeing what you want, you setting your intention, and then being open to receive it. Because once you open up to your intention, you're going to be surprised what comes at you. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in the Facebook group and love getting your love messages. So if you're enjoying the retreat, please, as it's moving along, share what sessions you loved, hit reply to any of my emails, and I'm happy to read them and see what you've been up to, and continue to share. Yeah, I know this retreat is not just powerful for people, but I love when like mothers and daughters do it, or moms and grandmas and daughters and girlfriends, and I get pictures and messages from you, and that just makes my heart feel so amazing when I see that happening. So spread the love, continue to share, use the hashtag Woman Unleashed, and get some special prizes. And notice that in the Facebook group, if you are going to join us in the Facebook group, that every day during the retreat, I'll be jumping in there for a Facebook Live and connecting with people, answering questions, and really sharing for each day the gifts of the sessions for the day. And so keep an eye out. You can ask me questions and we can connect then. So keep an eye on your emails. So I'll be seeing you in our next session. But meanwhile, sending you lots and lots of love. Post in the Facebook group. And one more action item, if you want to take this, is from your intention to set a sacred space for yourself. Like you'll notice right here, I have my sacred space. For the retreat, I have this feather my husband gave me. It reminds me to fly and be free. I've got my sage that I light to hold sacred space. I have my red thread. You're going to learn about the red thread in my session with Shiloh Sophia as a way of connection. This reminds me just to nourish. Here's my mom, baby. It reminds me just that spirit nourishes me. I have my paintbrushes to remind me that I am the creator. So this is what I've set up as far as my sacred space. So you can set up your sacred space during this time as well to remind you of your intention, to remind you of your gift, and keep opening, keep unleashing.